Okay, here we are, day 3, part 2. And I'm just actually going to talk about day 3 because the previous recording was days 1 and 2. So, day 3 was actually day 1 at the Hansa Center. That's the place where I'm getting the treatments that I came here to get. And started at, actually, let me go back. I woke up. I typically wake up several times during the night. I sleep about 2 hours at a time, and that's what it was last night. And I woke up at 20 to 7, certainly with no intention of getting up other than to use the restroom and go back to sleep because I didn't have to be at the Hansa Center until 10:30. So, and we're in Central Time, if you care. Here in Wichita, Kansas, it's Central Time. So yeah, I had no intention of getting up at 20 to 7. I thought maybe I'd get up 8:30, 9 o'clock, something like that. Whenever I woke up again, pretty much, which I assumed would be about 8:30. Except when I was using the restroom, I could hear dripping, and I thought it was the tub, so I just adjusted the faucet, and I went back to bed, and I sleep with earplugs a lot of times. Actually, it does help drown out the noise, but I use earplugs more because the sound of my own breathing is somewhat therapeutic and actually kind of puts me to sleep. So I had earplugs in, but all of a sudden I could hear the dripping, and I was like, geez, that's really weird. I'll go readjust the tub because it was steady enough dripping that it was bothersome to me and I couldn't sleep. Went back and I stepped on water in the bathroom and discovered that actually there was water dripping from the ceiling, and it was dripping pretty quickly and had formed a puddle in just a few minutes. It had formed a puddle on the floor. So I was like, oh, great. So I went to the front desk and asked about it, and within I didn't ask about it, I reported the problem. They checked upstairs, and nobody had overflowed a tub or a sink or a toilet or anything. So that means there's probably some kind of pipe burst in the walls or something. So they called a plumber, and the plumber didn't come out today, which I thought is really strange that in Wichita they couldn't. Wichita's really big. There's like 600,000 to 700,000 people here. So they couldn't find a plumber that could come today. I thought that was strange. The plumber's not coming till tomorrow, and I think they even told me it's tomorrow afternoon or something. But anyway, I would think they could just find a different plumber, although sometimes you contract with whatever. But anyway, so there is still water dripping from the ceiling in the bathroom, but it slowed down. After 20 to 30 minutes, it slowed down significantly. The ceiling is all wet, and the fan is clearly still dripping. And the ceiling is wet in 2 places, so we'll see what they find. But it'd be such a hassle to move that I'd rather just see what happens once the plumber's here than move if I don't have to. But anyway, that's how I started my day. I did actually eventually get to sleep a little bit more. I didn't really sleep, but I slept, another hour or so. And then I got up and had breakfast and stuff, and then went. And then I had to wait. It was a lot of waiting because my appointment wasn't until 10:30. And the first thing they do is, it's called CRT. I apologize that at the moment I don't ever remember what the CRT stands for, except the T stands for thermography. And I don't have it in front of me that I can look what the CRT, what it stands for. But basically what they do is they take a wand and they place it on a whole bunch of different places on your body, like all over, like she did here and here and here and here and here, and all, a bunch of places on my head, then back and arms and stomach, chest, just a whole bunch of places. It's this little wand with a tiny metal end. I think it was metal. It felt metal. And put it all over and measure your temperature. And that first set that they do, you're fully dressed, long pants, long sleeve shirt, so that you're as warm as possible. Then they have you take your clothes off. You keep your socks and underwear on, but you otherwise fully undress and stand in the room. It's not cold. I actually wouldn't even say that it's chilly, but it's cooler. And you stand there for 10 minutes, and then they do it again. And the idea of that is, first of all those temperature readings give them an idea of how different things are functioning depending on where. Oh, and here too, they did a bunch on the neck and all over. But the temperature readings give them an idea of how different things are functioning. And then the second set, sorry, my screen went black. Okay, got it back. Okay, so then you stand in the room for 10 minutes, and it's cooler now because you took your clothes off, and they take a second set of readings in all the same places. And then, so each reading itself gives them an idea of how that really, organs, they're checking organs, how they're functioning. But by measuring how your body responds to the temperature change, they can tell a whole lot more about how different everything is functioning. It's really very thorough, really impressive. When the doctor went over the results with me, I was really, like I said, just impressed. I was impressed at what they could tell just by looking at those temperature readings. Anyway, so back to what I was doing. I rested before I went because I know that your body temperature is really affected by excessive activity and things like that. So I was laying and resting, and I did then listen to some worship music and pray a little bit and relax. And was being very conscious not to be too active. So, and it was hard because actually it was about an hour that I was done with, I had breakfast, I was done for everything, and I was really just waiting. I didn't want to go to sleep again, so really just waiting to be able to leave. And the Hansa Center's right outside my hotel room. It literally takes me a minute to get over there. So, and they don't want you to be early for your tests. I want you to be prompt, but not early. So I was just waiting for it to be close to 10:30 so I could go over there. But I was okay. I wasn't like impatient or anything. And then I got over there, and I saw that I knew why they don't want you to be early is because they actually make you sit there for at least 15 minutes before they'll do your test, because they want to make sure that you've relaxed some. And funny thing that for me was that because sitting is really difficult, I was actually much more relaxed when I got there than I was after I had to sit for 15 minutes because of just what that does to the pain issues in my body. And so that was kind of ironic. But also in those 15 minutes, I really, it was like this explosion of excitement and the end of all of my patience for getting this started. I just really wanted to get this test started and get going and leap into what's all going to happen. And so that was not only physically difficult to sit there because of the pain issues, but mentally and emotionally, I just was like, I want to do this. Let's get started. So anyway, then I did my test, which I already explained. And then after that test, I didn't get to, then you see the doctor. I didn't get to see the doctor till 1 o'clock, and the test was over about 11:30. So, which actually was nice in that I could come back to the hotel room, take a shower, because there's very specific things, again, because your body temperature is very affected by so many things, including, showering, using lotions, deodorants, things like that, what you eat, what you drink. So there were very specific instructions. I couldn't brush my teeth in the morning. So it was nice to be able to come back to my hotel room, take a shower, brush my teeth, eat lunch, and then go back. And I still had a little bit of time. I laid down and rested a little bit again, and then I went back. But I ended up waiting a long time for the doctor. But then when I got in to see him and we just talked, and first he's had my my history, like my medical history. I guess most of my history isn't technically medical history because I only saw medical doctors for a small portion of my health journey, because I discovered really early on that the medical system doesn't set things up for you to heal. They treat your symptoms, they give you drugs, and I'm not going to spend my time criticizing the medical establishment right now. There are really good things about the medical system, especially, or I should say mostly, when it comes to emergency care and trauma incidences, things like that. Excuse me. But as far as long-term health care, the medical system isn't set up for that. And I recognized that really early on. And first of all, part of it was I quit my job where I had health insurance, and so I didn't have health insurance anymore, and everything would have been out of pocket. Also, there was so much more involved just with what was going on with my spiritual journey and emotional and all that. So anyway, it was a lot of things that went into me deciding to not pursue medical stuff for more than, 6 months or so, 8 months, I don't remember, but it wasn't very long. And then I stopped pursuing anything. I didn't have a job either for a while, and couldn't get a job because of my pain issues and stuff. So that also went into it. And then pause. I'm going to go to part 3.